Unfortunately, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Tamir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coon. The white man to go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
Touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. King's son, they show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. King's ladies all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got...
Taking the blame. A lot of y'all was at the freak off too, so don't put it all on me. That's just the truth. I've been up and down this road trying to find my peace. Confessions of a man without a release. Oh, now, hey. In the mirror, I saw the truth. Hiding in plain view, I'm coming clean now, this burden to undo. We were all there dancing shadows in the night, acting wrong when we knew what was right. But deep inside, there's more you must see. In this room of mirrors, it's not just me. I walk this path with heavy chains, trying to shed those sins, erase the stains. I've seen the highs and the pushing low, fading in the spotlight, that's how it goes. Yeah. Now I'm standing here, hard on my sleeve, trying to clear the air, let the demons relieve. Every wrong turn and every mistake led me to this moment, let my soul wake. Plays a part in the shadows deep, lost in the game. It's promises to keep.
All right. Hello, everyone. Grand Rising. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right, so let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, so let's see who's in here. All right, Jet Black, Bronze Flat Power God. Claudette is in the house. Hundia is here. Okay. Pamela, Samantha, Melanin 100%. Juju B is here. G from the land. Anita Harrell. AJ Matthews. All right. Jeff ATF. Did I say you? Nessie X. April. Deronda Pensilola Khalid is here. Mr. Elevation said the nefariousness continues. Absolutely. Courtney J. Miss Mississippi. Shalvi is in the house. Queen Sam. Terry Hitton. Okay, so let's get into it. Juju B said, low down dirty scoundrels know what to do. Okay. Reggie is up in the house. All right. Reggie said, Queen done moved into a condo. OG Patrice is in here. Hey, beloved. Salutations to you. Oh, hell no. Okay. Mad Dog Jax, Nubian Cutie. Okay, so shout out to everyone in chat. Everyone tuned into Queen. You all know I love me some Loyal Royal. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So now remember that Diddy was trying to get some of the lawsuits dismissed, saying that, you know, they weren't filed the proper way and all of this. Lucian Grainge was trying to wiggle out of it. In fact, he did get removed from one. Okay, he got removed from the one with Little Rod, a.k.a. Rodney Jones. and was trying to get his name off of the one with Liza Gardner to no avail. And that one was supposed to be refiled in New Jersey after new information came out. And so it has been refiled as of June the 6th. Okay, so I have the full court docs on that. I don't think I'm going to go through the entire document, but we'll go through some of the important parts. So let's talk about it. Likes up. Everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. So now let's just revisit when Diddy accuser dropped UMG and Lucian Grainge from lawsuit, okay? No legal basis for the claims. After the music giant said that it would seek penalties over reckless false allegations on an attorney for the accuser has asked to have the claims withdrawn immediately. So Universal Music Group and CEO Lucian Grainge have been dismissed from a lawsuit claiming that they aided and abetted Sean Diddy Combs in his alleged sexual abuse. A move that came after the lawyer. Hold on, what is this? Hold on, beloveds, these pop-ups. See if I can get rid of that. Okay. So a move that came after the lawyer who filed the case admitted that there was no legal basis for the claims. Now, the sudden reversal came 2 months after attorneys for the music giant argued that the accusations were so offensively false that they planned to take the unusual step of seeking legal penalties directly against the accuser's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, over his decision to even name them in the lawsuit because they thought, how dare you? Now, in a sworn declaration filed in court Monday, May 13th, Blackburn said that after reading UMG's objections, he had concluded that there is no legal basis for the claims and allegations that were against the UMG defendants. He asked that they be dismissed immediately with prejudice, okay, meaning that he cannot refile them later. Now, in his own court filing on Tuesday, UMG's lead attorney, Donald Zacharin, agreed that the accusations against his clients should be dropped, but he once again sharply criticized Blackburn for bringing those claims in the first place, saying that, as we have repeatedly said from our very first communication with counsel for plaintiff on March the 4th of 2024, there was no basis, not legal and not factual, for the claims and accusations that were alleged. Now, this is what Attorney Zacharin said. Now, the UMG defendants should never have been named in any of these complaints, and we should never have been required to make motions to dismiss the complaints in this action. Now, when reached for comment by Billboard, Blackburn declined to answer specific questions about what led him to drop the case. But here's what he did say. I would strongly advise you not to reach out to me for any comment on any case that I have. I have no respect for you as a journalist. You are a mouthpiece for Combs' attorney, Sean Holly, and UMG. You should reach out to them for comments. Okay, that's what Tyrone Blackburn told them. Now, filed in late February, the lawsuit against Diddy claims that he sexually assaulted and harassed a producer named Rodney Lil Rod Jones while he was working as a producer on the rapper's 2023 The Love album. The lawsuit is one of several abuse cases filed against Combs over the past 6 months. Okay, so with that all been said, Lucian was dropped and UMG were dropped from Rodney's lawsuit. Now, as I said, they wanted to be dropped from the one pertaining to Liza Gardner, where she sued both Diddy and Aaron Hall. Okay, now, mind you, this is the young woman who claims to have been 16 when she was brought and presented to Diddy and Aaron Hall by Jodeci. Now, remember the video that I did on that some months ago, because I thought it was all crazy. Why was she hanging out with Jodeci, who clearly were grown men at the time, and she was just a teenager? Okay, so with that all being said, let's just revisit a couple of clips from that really quick. Lights up, everyone, please. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my old lawsuit. Hold on, not lawsuit. I mean my old video, not lawsuit. Okay, here we go. Let me sidestep. Okay, here we go. Lights up, everyone. Please like and share. Reggie said, shout out to the moderators. Black Women Stand Up is in the house. Andrea, Terry Hartfield. All right, let's get it. Locks Queen Candy J is up in here. Added to an already substantial list of SE sexual assault allegations against Diddy, and hip hop mogul's ex-girlfriend Cassie kicked it all off and led to a string of lawsuits when she sued him for rape and years of abuse in November of 2023. Diddy quickly settled with Cassie out of court, and more lawsuits were filed later that month. Now, Liza Gardner, that's who we're about to talk about, and you all are going to be in for a surprise when I let you know this. Liza Gardner and Joy Dickerson Neal sued Diddy after Cassie's settlement, accusing him of sexually assaulting him in the 90s. Gardner filed an amended complaint on Tuesday, March the 12th. The update said that she was, guess what, only 16 years old. But that's not the part that's going to shock you, because we really shouldn't be shocked by that, because we've already heard allegations of him messing with underage people before, like Justin Bieber allegedly, Usher allegedly. But not only that, the other person who filed the lawsuit against him and Harve Pierre, and a third person was involved that was unnamed, she said that she was 17 at the time. But here's the part that you all are going to fall out. Hold on. Let me just finish going through this real quick. So then it goes on to say, she said that she was only 16 years old, and pay attention because her name wasn't given before. She was listed in the court filings only as Jane Doe. And now that the filing complaint has been amended, she's including more details such as her name and her age at the time. Said that she was 16 at the time of the alleged assault. Singer Aaron Hall was implicated in Gardner's lawsuit. A woman identified as Jane Doe also sued Diddy for rape and sex trafficking. The plaintiff said she was 17 years old when Diddy and former Bad Boys Records president Harve Pierre and an unnamed man gang raped her in 2003. Diddy denied those allegations. So it's all going down for Diddy, and it's looking real bad, okay? It's looking real bad. But honey, y'all ain't heard nothing yet, because like I told you, Queen came through with those full court docs. And so let's get into it, because this is what y'all need to know. And trust me when I tell you, it's absolutely nefarious. I'm going to tell you that right now. Now, I'm not going to keep the documents on the screen the whole time, but I am just going to show you all a tidbit of this information. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, thank you in advance. Let me put my watermark on there. Okay, so here's the thing. Now I want you all to pay attention. The woman's name is Liza Gardner. Like I said before, she was listed only as Jane Doe. Now here's the part y'all need to see. Let me scroll down. Listen to this. Okay, and then I'm going to remove it from the screen. Okay, it says Liza Gardner is a Caucasian female and a United States citizen who was at all relevant times a resident of the domiciled in the state of North Carolina. Combs is a United States citizen and was at all relevant times a resident and domiciled in the United States. Now, the main thing I wanted you all to pay attention to is the fact that it said this young lady is what? I'm sorry, a Caucasian female. Okay, so this was a white teenager that he allegedly did this to. To Gardner to satisfy their sexual desires. Under all circumstances, the defendant's physical contact with Liza Gardner was offensive and wrongful. Defendants continue to attack Liza Gardner despite her attempts to thwart their actions. Now, defendants' their conduct was the direct and proximate cause of Liza Gardner's past and future substantial damages, including significant pain and suffering, lasting psychological and financial harm, loss of dignity, and invasion of privacy. Or plaintiff praised that the court enter judgment in her favor and against defendants containing the following relief. Point A, okay, a declaratory judgment that the actions, conduct, and practices of defendants complained herein violate the laws of the state of New York. An award of damages these DVDs, USB devices, So that's going to make it even more plausible for him to get those definitely a bombshell, okay? Queen Sam said, don't be destroying Ish. Exactly. Exactly. Hey, this is all crazy. So this is definitely some bombshell information, because not only do we find out that this woman was allegedly a minor when this occurs. Now that's the second allegation that someone was underage when he was doing things to them. So that's going to make it even more plausible for him to get those criminally prosecuted for RICO and specifically trafficking. Okay, that's going to make it a whole lot easier. Okay, Greta said, Queen, this is a super bombshell. Okay, and just remember, you heard it here first. Okay, and the information about Lil Rod, you heard that here first. Greta said, can you imagine this white woman being deposed? The things she will say. Oh yeah, exactly.
They got to start all the way over. And these major record labels and these big buildings, they need to get rid of all the guys who was connected to the poison and the snake. Once they start painting their fingernails and wearing women's clothes, they got you.
If you're watching this, then I'm already dead.
So I thought that was very interesting. And here's another thing that I find interesting. Del Monte Greenbean said, I just hope Nas ain't got nothing to do with any of this shit. Oh, I know that's right. I doubt it. And I hope not too, beloved. When Chris Brown was supposed to do the Michael Jackson tribute, a secret society. Just keep that in mind. All right. Now, let me go to this. Mad Dog Jackson's Dr. Dre was known for beating up women. Look how he did Miss Chalet. Exactly. He was known for it. Now, as you said, Queen, I can't keep up. Honey, I know. I can barely keep up myself. Trust me. Okay? It's a marathon. Okay? All these receipts.
Yeah,
listen to what the game says.
All they do is market. They don't tell us, and they just want us to wave the flag around, but they don't tell us. Like, they know what's going down before it goes down, but they never tell us. We should get like a Twitter hit or something, or a DM, you know what I'm saying, from like the government, like, yo, duck, like this coming, you know what I'm saying? But we don't get, you know what I'm saying? Who the fuck are we? American people, they don't about us, man. We still kiss ass and go vote whenever they need us to. What's that? I can't talk about that.
Next question.
I can't say I don't want to talk about those people, man. I heard they swing from trees with, you know, like black ninjas will come and like sweep you away your whole life and nobody ever knew you existed, man. So I don't want to talk about those people.
I bet he didn't want to talk about those people. Now I want you all to pay attention, because remember how they said Diddy was boule and all of that, okay? And he's a gatekeeper and all of this. So that is largely a reason why Diddy has been protected all this time, as well as knowing these powerful people. But let's go to the video where it talks about Jodeci, okay? Because Devontae actually snitched on Diddy if the allegations are true. And I'm going to show that receipt in a moment. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, by the end of the summer into the fall of 1990, MCA held an event at their New York City offices. Miss Gardner and her friend met Combs and Hall at the offices. Okay, so let's not forget, she was invited there. Her and her friend were invited there by Jodeci, who were supposedly her friends. Now, which I find interesting, because if she was 16, what was she doing hanging out with Jodeci? That's one question I have. That I thought was very interesting. But so after the MCA event, Miss Gardner recalls attending dinner with Jodeci, Combs, and Hall. Combs and Hall were very flirtatious and handsy with Miss Gardner and her friend. They offered them drinks throughout the night. At the age of 16, Miss Gardner was a minor in 1990 and incapable of consenting to drink alcohol. In 1985, New York State raised the legal drinking age from 19 to 21. As far as I'm concerned. Did they bring them there for that? Because if they knew that they were underage, then which likely they did know. Because if they were friends, they would likely have known they were underage. Okay, I just believe so. Now I'm talking about Jodeci, and my question is, why did Jodeci bring those young girls to meet Aaron Hall and Diddy, knowing that they were teenagers? And so if they brought them there to Diddy and Hall and introduced them, did they bring them there to be victimized? That's what we should be asking ourselves. Did they bring them there as sheep, or lambs to the slaughter? He said he was prepubescent. And so I'm just saying, Diddy, I have a whole lot of questions. She said Diddy had a small cucumber. Helen says strong possibility. Yes, because I'm here to tell you that some of these dudes with little D energy, they have a complex and they get upset and mad, especially if women laugh at them, ridicule them, you know what I'm saying? And then they just want to sometimes force themselves on people. We've heard stories. So I just have questions as to, is this the reason why? I'm sorry, but what? Honey 69 said she needed tweezers to hold it. Okay, let me go past this. Hold on, we're almost done, so we can get into these new receipts. And that too.
Hey Meta, take a photo.
Tupac saved her. If you want to believe it or not, sacrificing people does happen in our world, more than you know. Go listen to my first episode, Sacrifice. I tell you how Tupac saved my life. He was my angel. Now I'm going to play a clip that she shared on Twitter.
For my life and telling that, he doesn't want nothing happening to me, but he's still taking me to the venue. I went over this over and over in my head. Why would he take me? Why would he put a white dress on me? It's like, dressing the lamb and giving her to the wolves. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has different levels of love or how they should love someone. Obviously, he doesn't know how to love right. But I would never put my loved one in that situation, knowing that you're going into the wolves' den.
Now, this is Gloria Velez, who is the mother of Aaron Hall's child, who was 16 years old when he started dating her. So it's not a shock that he would allegedly have had some sort of attack on Liza Gardner and Joy Dickerson-Neal when they were underage, because this woman says herself that she was a teenager, 16 years old, when she became impregnated by him, started dating him and all of that.
You know what's going to happen. You know what they want to do. When he was pleading for my life and telling that, he doesn't want nothing happening to me, but he's still taking me to the venue.
Okay, I'm going to go past that.
You know what I'm saying?
This is. Because these people be knowing these girls are too young. They be knowing, honey. Okay, don't let them fool you. Like I said, they can sit here and pretend they didn't know, but a lot of times they absolutely do. Now, this is when I was proving a point that these men can lie and say they didn't know that these girls were teenagers, but you can absolutely tell, not just from their conversation, but also from their facial features. It's very obvious that these are not grown women, okay? But some men want to sit there and say, oh, I didn't know she was underage, when they absolutely did know. Okay? Now, look at Kiki at the top row as opposed to the bottom row. Okay, so in the middle, this picture right here, Kiki is about 16 years old. All right? See the fullness in her face and cheeks? Okay? And then look at her down here. Her face is slimmer, more structured, more defined features. So you can clearly tell the difference is all I'm saying between a teenager and a grown woman. Okay, even if their body's fully developed, some girls mature quickly, but you can tell in the face if you're really paying attention, all right? So they need to sit down somewhere. You know, a lot of these people trying to act like they don't be knowing. They know. In the music industry, but particularly in hip hop, the trappings of celebrities, rich men on television with fancy toys and gifts are part of the allure. Like the Luke Hall Velez saga, many believe that Beyonce was groomed by Jay-Z. When they started dating, she was still a teenager and he was 31. Uncle Luke responded to the grooming allegations in his own video on social media, saying that not only did he not exploit young girls, but had systems in place to protect himself from allegations such as this, because so many of the content he produces involve adult entertainment. Okay, so let's go to the video where he responded. Like, sub, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
We know the rules and we know the rules and regulations of this shit. Shit, I signed LaJuan Love. LaJuan Love was 14 years old. You know what you have to do when you sign him? Underage person, you got to go get consent by the court. They have to then get a lawyer. The kid gets his own lawyer. Parents have their own lawyer. You have your lawyer. Then that's how you, man, I don't play about that paperwork. I don't play about it.
Okay, so then Uncle Luke went on to say that he wasn't grooming and that people have to sign paperwork. Here's the thing. The person that he brought up to me, he was kind of deflecting because Gloria Velez accused him of grooming. Now, and say that there were underage and young girls in his videos and things of that nature. He started talking about how he signed LaJuan and Naz or whoever that was when they were 14 and they got a contract and a lawyer. That's totally different. When you're signing a contract, of course you get a lawyer, okay? What she was talking about is the underage girls who were around him when, okay, Emerald Light said lied and covered his ace. Okay, exactly. So Rex said they don't protest too much. Right. So she's talking about the young girls that were in his videos. Okay, that has nothing to do with contracts. Okay, so please pay attention. Now, I showed you all those clips for those who may have missed it and whatnot. All right, so let's talk about Jodeci, because I think absolutely that Jodeci knew, specifically KC and Devontae Swing, that they knew those girls were underage and brought them there to Diddy, okay? Brought them there to Diddy and Aaron Hall. All right, I have very good reason to suspect that. But let's talk about it, because let's not forget that I also told you how basically Jodeci was sued by a family and KC was dubbed a sexual deviant. Do you all remember that? Family sues KC over alleged indecent exposure. Lawsuit seeks unspecified damages for R&B singer, producer of concert plaintiffs was billed as family event. Because remember, they were having a family event with teenagers there, and he gets up on stage, and Anaheim, California family was suing him because he got up on stage, pulled out his cucumber, and started to play with it, allegedly. Okay? Now, in a class action lawsuit filed in California Superior Court in Los Angeles, Robert and Robin Garcia, along with their daughter, Rachel, seek unspecified damages and psychological counseling expenses from Haley, and that's Casey Haley, okay? And the concert's producers and Clear Channel Communications Entertainment. Okay, Haley already faces criminal charges for indecent exposure, a misdemeanor crime in the alleged incident. Now, they say we're trying to send a message to KC and other artists that you have to draw a line somewhere. This is what Harry Scolinos, the family attorney, said. The emotional distress caused may not be that severe, but Haley needs to be brought to task for his actions. The criminal charges for exposure in California, like most states, is a slap on the wrist. So according to Garcia's family suit, KC dropped his boxer shorts and exposed his genitals to a Shrine Auditorium crowd of 4,000 people during KC and JoJo's set at KIIS-FM's Jingle Ball, an event that was heavily promoted as suitable to the taste of the entire family. meaning that kids could absolutely come there, and says including the very young. Now, other performers at the December 16th concert included Christina Aguilera, Third Eye Blind, Bon Jovi, Macy Gray, and 98 Degrees. The suit describes Haley as a sexual deviant, cited a 1993 case in which Haley pleaded guilty to aggravated sexual contact for fondling a woman and was sentenced to probation and community service. The suit also accuses the concert's producers for booking a group widely known in the industry for their sexually charged stage performances on the same bill as Aguilera, who was a positive role model for children. Okay, so allegations of nefariousness is all I'm saying. So you think they didn't know that those girls were 16 and 17 years old? You think they didn't know when they brought them to Diddy and Aaron Hall? And I do think that not only did they know their ages, like I said previously, I think they brought them there for their sexual pleasure. Okay, I think they knew absolutely what was likely to happen. Now, with that all being said, and by the way, KC did get probation. Okay, now he got probation in 1993 for fondling a woman and doing other things, but he also pled guilty in 2001 for the incident that I just read to you that he was sued for. KC, aka Cedric Haley, one half of the brother duo KC and JoJo, has been sentenced to 2 years probation in Los Angeles Superior Court on charges of indecent exposure. According to reports on All Star News, the singer was sentenced on Friday, June the 29th, to 2 years of probation in order to pay fines and court charges totaling $910. He pleaded guilty last month to charges of lewd conduct, which were brought after he exposed his genitals while on stage last December at a Christmas concert in Los Angeles. Okay, now with that all being said, when they call him an sexual deviant, I have to agree. Because if you've already received probation once before for doing things that are, sexually inappropriate, why would you continue to do it? And especially, why would you do it in front of teenagers? Okay, there were kids there. That is sick. So yes, I absolutely think that he is an sexual deviant. Okay, I have to agree. Now, before I get into the lawsuit that was refiled in New Jersey, let's talk about how not only did Jodeci bring those girls there, but they knew what Diddy did to them, okay, what he allegedly did to them. Because here's why. Let me share this on the screen. Lights up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, as you can see, beloveds, as you can see, let me put my watermark on here. Now, this is where Devontae snitched, okay? Combs had filmed himself, and there was a video. There was allegedly video footage of Diddy filming this. Now, mind you, we've heard this a myriad of times. Rodney Jones said that Diddy was filming things. Cassie said that Diddy would film her and the encounters they have and all of that stuff. There's been numerous allegations of Diddy filming people and their, situations. And then let's not forget the recent lawsuit with Crystal McKinney, the model. She too, or was it April Lampros? I want to say, I can't remember, but it was one of the last two lawsuits filed. It was either Crystal McKinney, the model, or April Lampros. But one of them said that Diddy filmed them, and they didn't even know it 2 years later when they went to a party and someone who'd seen it told their boyfriend about it, okay? Now, Combs had filmed himself sexually assaulting plaintiff and had shown the video to Swing and others while working at the studio. So you mean to tell me that Diddy filmed himself doing nefarious things to this child who was underage, this minor, and then showed it to people? And it even Devontae Swing. Now, plaintiff asked Swing who had seen the video, and he replied, everyone. So who are the rest of these people? Because see, these people are all complicit in the nefariousness of it all. If they sat there and watched the video, then wouldn't that make them complicit? Okay, knowing that these are minors. Plaintiff was mortified as she learned that Combs had filmed the assault and knew it would haunt her for the rest of her life and career. Swing told plaintiff that he wanted to speak up against Combs, but he was fearful that the band would lose their record deal. He was fearful that the band would lose their record deal. Okay? Jodeci was in the midst of recording their studio album Forever Lady, for which Combs was doing A&R. So he said he didn't want to say anything because he didn't want to lose his record deal. Here's the thing. I don't think that's the reason. I think he didn't want to say anything because they brought those girls there for that specific reason, because they knew what was likely to happen. Now, that's just my opinion, and of course, I can't substantiate that, but I absolutely think that's what it is. Reagan says those tapes finna come out too, at least the ones of celebrities. They'll redact Clive, Lucian, and other execs. Absolutely. I believe that 100%. Now, let's get into these new documents. And let's not forget how I played you all the audio. That's what I meant to play you guys. Hold on. That's what I meant to play you guys. The audio with Aaron Hall. Now, let me see if this is it. Hold on, beloveds. Here it is right here. This is what I wanted to show you all too, for those of you who missed it. Okay, let's revisit that really quick because Aaron Hall was telling on himself as per usual.
The girls say that no trick shit about Aaron Hall, then you understand that Let's Chill shit is some real shit.
So that was basically like from some life experience?
Now, my whole thing is that I just think that girls think that a whole lot of guys, run after they shit. You know what I mean?
Talk to me. You can say what you want on there.
But a whole lot of girls out there with the umbilical cords, them young 1970s, 1980s bitches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They try to go up there with the fresh out the put and think they can get like a nigga like Aaron Hall. I'm historical.
Yeah.
They fuck.
That's right. That's right.
Me, it's a big day. I know my son's mother. Everybody know that shit. So
yeah, that's glory, and tell them about it.
So when you put errands on it, when you fuck for 3 days and take the bitch hand and take him out of the man's hand, then you a retired pimp.
Yeah.
But at the time, as soon as I came to South Beach, I just grabbed her, and she'll tell you the same story. I just grabbed her for 3 days. Then Aaron's got on a put with an apostrophe S.
Yeah.
Like it's Aaron.
I mean, it was
3
like
colors on it.
Yeah, crazy glue. I mean,
my whole thing is this: is that if niggas can't handle me, I'm not gonna never let them get my last name. If you can't handle my last name, so I've been single for 50 years.
All right, now.
A whole lot of niggas out there, from Jamie Foxx to like Denzel Washington to whoever. Everybody know me.
Yeah.
So everybody know if I say it, I'm a to death. Public, you feel me?
Yeah.
So niggas can't say nothing about it. Them square ass niggas, them precious cake little.
Yeah.
I like for them niggas to see how I. You speak to Jodeci or Puffy or any of them niggas, they been at my house. They all see me. They all know I'm a big nigga.
Yeah.
If a bitch touch my and she say my small, then she's a lying bitch.
Yeah.
Tell her to name the tattoo that's on my ribs that says warning. You get the thing is, a whole lot of niggas write about taking girls out to shop, taking girls to fly to Dubai and all that shit. Yeah. Bitch, close your eyes. We anywhere. You feel me? And my whole thing is this. Is that
talk about it.
If you can handle my and you can make me still be Aaron Hall without rapping off your mouth, then I'll take you anywhere. Other than that shit, you back home, bitch.
Absolutely deplorable as far as I'm concerned. And I want you all to pay attention to something. Because did you notice that when he was naming people who've watched him F, as he put it so bluntly, he said Jodeci. He named Jodeci. Now see, that, beloveds, is what leads me to absolutely believe that Jodeci knew what was going to happen to those girls. That they knew. And I think they went and got them and brought them there for that purpose. Because he said that Jodeci, too, had seen him F girls. Okay? And they also knew about him and Gloria Velez and that she was underage. So y'all don't think that Jodeci brought those girls there for Diddy and Aaron's pleasure. Once in the chat, if you think that Jodeci willfully and knowingly, all right, brought those girls there for Diddy and Aaron Hall TX says right, Queen. Because that's absolutely what it sounds like. Okay, thank you. Hoodie puts a 3. Now, with that all being said, I absolutely agree. So, with that all being said, here's the thing. And the way he was talking, he's clearly, a piece of work. Okay, he's clearly a piece of work. And the thing is, if Devontae Swing watched the video and said everyone was shown the video by Diddy, why didn't anyone say or do anything about it? So all of them knew and were complicit. And they still continue to work with Diddy, attend his parties, and be friends with Diddy. You see, because all of this was in the dark. But now that it's all come to light, where's Jodeci now? How come we haven't heard from them? How come we haven't heard from other people that were in the studio at the time who also allegedly saw the video? We've not heard from any of those people. Okay, because if this is true, that means all of them were willfully complicit. Now, they truly be telling on themselves concerning Aaron Hall's song lyrics resurface in the wake of Diddy abuse lawsuit. No need to run and no need to hide. All the doors are locked, baby, and I have you inside. Okay, y'all remember those lyrics? Now, it's real funny that after he says all of that, now look what he's charged with. Okay, I find it all nefarious. It's all nefarious when you really think about that song. Now I have you all to myself. You can put all the other guys all on the shelf. No need to run and no need to hide. All the doors are locked, baby, and I have you inside. You can yell and you can hit me. It only makes me horny. Ha! What a pervert. Okay, that's exactly what he is. All right? Now, is that crazy or not? So with that all being said, let's get into the new filed document. Okay? Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Now, this document was, as I said, filed in New Jersey. It was previously filed in New York. And upon new information that came up, they decided to refile it in New Jersey. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. And remember, Lucian Grainge was trying to get himself, along with UMG, removed from this lawsuit. Now, as you can see, because this was filed on June the 6th, okay, June the 6th, just a few days ago, you can see that Universal is still listed. Sean Combs, Aaron Hall, Uptown Records, MCA Inc., Universal Music Group, and John Doe's 1 through 10. Now, here's the thing that I thought was interesting. Hold on just a moment. Now, here's the thing. It says an actor is guilty of aggravated sexual assault if the actor commits to an act of sexual penetration with another person under any one of the following circumstances. The victim is less than 13 years old. The victim is at least 13 years old, less than 16 years old. The actor is related to the victim by blood or whatever. Okay, so skip past all of that because we already know now that the young lady claims to have been 16 years old when this happened. Universal Music Group, John and Jane Doe's 1 through 10, and ABC Corp's 1 through 10, and their participation in the harm visited upon plaintiff Gardner. Upon information and belief, you are an MCA merged into UMG, which is now the parent company. Now, Miss Gardner is a Caucasian female and a United States citizen who was at all relevant times a resident of the domiciled in the state of North Carolina. I'm going to skip past some of this. Now, upon information, this is a summary of factual accusations. Upon information and belief in 1990, the child was in New Jersey, New York, or New York City with a few friends. They were Monica Case, a 15-year-old child, please pay attention, Devontae DeGreat and Devontae Swing. I'm sorry, Dalvin DeGreat and Devontae Swing, who were all members of the R&B group Jodeci. Now, the child was invited to New Jersey by close friends Dalvin DeGreat and Devontae Swing and other members of the group Jodeci. Upon information and belief, at the time, Jodeci were employees of UR/MCA Records. The child and members of Jodeci are all from North Carolina. Now, I want you to pay attention because you see They keep referring to her as the child. And why are they doing that? Because they're trying young to be involved in any of these nefarious activities and also too young to give consent to grown men like Diddy and Aaron Hall. Okay? And also to have been hanging out with Jodeci as far as I'm concerned. Now, the child and members of Jodeci are all from North Carolina. Upon information and belief, URMCA and UMG subsidized Jodeci's housing and living arrangements in New Jersey. Upon information and belief, URMCA and UMG senior executives wanted their urban artists to live in suburban areas or suburban neighborhoods out of state. Upon information and belief, they wanted to keep their urban artists out of the streets of Harlem and New York City, which were dangerous at the time. Now, according to NYPD crime statistics, we're going to skip past all of that. Now, in 1990, prior to inviting the children, this is real crazy because just notice how they keep saying children and child. Okay, in 1990, prior to inviting the children to New Jersey, Jodeci was signed by hip-hop artist Heavy D to UR, a label that was a subsidiary of MCA, which was a subsidiary of UMG. Upon information and belief, Jodeci was assigned to UR employee Sean Combs, and UR is Uptown Records, for those of you who may be confused or don't know. That's Uptown Records. Okay, so they were assigned to UR employee Sean Combs, who took on the task of developing the new act. The group was introduced after providing background vocals on the 1990 song Treat Them Like They Want to Be Treated. Upon information and belief, Forever My Lady is the debut studio album of Jodeci released in 1991. Now, at the end of summer into the fall of 1990, MCA held an event at their New York City offices. The child and her friend Monica Case met Combs and Hall at the offices of MCA Records for this event. In addition to Combs and Hall, Miss Gardner and R&B singer Mary J. Blige and hip-hop artist Queen Latifah. Now, at the MCA event, the children were provided a lot of alcohol. Upon information and belief, MCA provided transportation for the children and other artists as they were visibly intoxicated. Okay, please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, upon information and belief, after the MCA event, the children attended dinner with members of Jodeci, Combs, and Hall. Combs and Hall were very flirtatious and handsy with the intoxicated children. They should be ashamed of themselves if this is all true, and I believe that it absolutely is. Upon information and belief, individual defendants offered the children more drinks, even though the children had been provided excessive amounts of alcohol at the MCA event. And upon information and belief, Hall and Combs provided the children with marijuana as well. These substances were provided to the children throughout the evening. At the ages of 15 and 16, the children were minors in 1990 and incapable of consenting to drink alcohol. Marijuana was also illegal in New York and New Jersey in 1990. Upon information and belief, in 1990, the legal drinking age in New Jersey was 21 years old. This was due to the National Memorandum. Okay, I'm skipping past that. Now, here's a picture of Liza Gardner, please pay attention, with Aaron Hall. Okay? Now, let's look at this. Y'all see that? According to Miss Gardner, she was wearing a black shirt with a button-up blouse, and below is a photo from that day in 1990, hours before Hall and Combs brutally raped the child. This is all crazy. And you can tell that she's a kid. There's no way they thought these were grown women. Let me see if I can enhance this. You all see that? You all see that? You can clearly tell that is a teenager. You can tell that she's not an adult. So like I said before, on the first time I reported on this incident, yeah, they knew that these were kids. Please miss me with it. Now, so depicted in this image are 16-year-old plaintiff Gardner, 26-year-old Hall, and 15-year-old Monica Case. The children are being physically accosted by Hall. Now, as you see, Monica Case's face isn't shown. They blocked her face out. Okay? So while at Hall's apartment depicted in the above image, Miss Gardner was offered more alcohol and was physically forced into having sex with Combs against her will. At the time Combs assaulted Miss Gardner, she recalls feeling the side effects of the alcohol. She recalls Combs mounting her and forcing up her skirt, pulling her underwear to the side, and forcefully planting the cucumber. Okay? The children were not of legal age to consent to sexual intercourse with Combs or Hall. After Combs finished doing his business, the child was in bed, shocked and traumatized. As she was in the process of getting dressed, Hall barged into the room, pinned her down, and forced open the child's legs. Okay, he then planted his cucumber. Please pay attention. All nefarious. And then let's not forget how they went to the residence the next day and Diddy supposedly put paws on them, alleged by Miss Gardner. The following day, Combs came to the home where Miss Gardner and her friends were staying. Combs was irate and began assaulting and choking Miss Gardner to the point that she passed out. Combs was searching for Miss Gardner's friend because he was worried that she would tell the girl he was dating or he was with at the time that what he and Hall had done. Now, this violent act by Combs was no surprise to UMG, UR, and MCA, as 3 years prior to this, from 1987 to 1989. Okay, according to an investigative article published by Rolling Stone on May the 28th of 2024, Combs was allegedly involved in a violent incident where he beat a woman with a belt in front of shocked schoolmates at Howard University. Combs reportedly appeared outside the school's Harriet Tubman quadrangle dorm and began yelling in a belligerent manner for his then girlfriend to come outside. According to one witness, Diddy used what looked like a belt to strike the young woman all over the place. She was trying to defend herself a little bit. The witness tells Rolling Stone that she was crying and they were yelling, "Get off of her." We were screaming for her. Now, you all remember that from the Rolling Stone expose. Based on information and belief, this was not the only incident of violence with Combs at Howard University. UMG and MCA employee Andre Harrell traveled to Howard to bail Combs out of trouble and bring him back to New York. Okay, to bail him out of trouble. So I want y'all to pay attention because, like I told you, he clearly has an alleged history of violence. Hall confirmed Combs' presence in the room when he engaged in the sex acts. In a YouTube video posted by Vlad TV titled "Aaron Hall Claims that Diddy watched him make love to a woman," flashback. Okay, so yeah, he was snitching on both of them. Clearly snitching. I'm going to skip past all of that because we already heard the video proof that he said himself out of his own mouth. Now, based on information and belief, when Hall met Gloria Velez, she was a 16-year-old high school student in Broward County, Florida. She attended Schumann Douglas High School. Upon information and belief in the state of Florida, a child under 16 years of age cannot consent to sexual activity, regardless of the age of the defendant. And here is a picture of Gloria. And you're going to tell me you can't tell that she was a kid? Doesn't she look like a kid? You can tell that she was a teenager. She does not look like a grown woman whatsoever. Okay, so like I said, they can sit there and lie and deny all they want. At the end of the day, Gloria Velez's social media posts evidencing her adolescence when groomed and statutorily raped by Hall. Sean Combs has a well-documented history of legal trouble. So 1991, according to a November 2023 lawsuit, Combs allegedly drugs, sexually assaults, and videotapes 19-year-old Joy Dickerson Neal after going on a date with him. Combs is found guilty of criminal mischief for threatening a photographer from the New York Post with a gun. April the 6th, and that was in 96. Now, April the 16th of 1999, Combs was arrested and charged with 2 felonies, second-degree assault and criminal mischief, in the beating of record executive Steve Stout, who says Combs and 2 bodyguards beat him with their fists, a telephone, a champagne bottle, and a chair. When Combs publicly apologized, Stout asked for the charges to be dismissed. Combs reportedly paid Stout $500,000.
Okay, so that's why he dropped the charges, because he got $500,000. Okay, now the assault charges dropped. Combs pleads guilty to the lesser charge of harassment and is sentenced to 1 day of anger management classes. This is also stupid. How do you think someone can get rid of their anger and violent temper, okay, with just 1 day of anger management? Please make that make sense, okay? Because clearly it makes none. Now, December the 27th of 1999, Combs, along with then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez and rapper Shine, are arrested in relation to a shooting in New York. March 26th of 2001, in a lawsuit, local TV host Roger Mills sues Combs, accusing him of assault, false imprisonment, destruction of property, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and a civil conspiracy in an exchange where Combs' entourage roughed him up and destroyed his camera. And let's not forget how Diddy bragged. I played you all the video where Diddy bragged on Big Boy's show during an interview how when they would go to a party or an event or club or what have you, and they were playing the song Hit 'Em Up by Tupac, that they would turn over the DJ's turntables. Okay? So they just go in there, somebody's doing or playing something they don't want to hear. They just act the whole fool. So he already admits and brags to it as if he was doing something. Please pay attention. Now, 2003. According to a December 2003 lawsuit, Combs, his former Bad Boy Records president, Harvey Pierre, and a third unidentified man allegedly gang raped an unnamed 17-year-old at a Manhattan recording studio. February 2006, Ventura signed a 10-album deal with Bad Boy Entertainment. Her debut single, Me and You, is released, and her self-titled album drops that same year. According to a November 23rd, 2023 lawsuit, Combs' vicious cycle of abuse begins here. All right, so we already know about Cassie. Now, March 6th of 2007, in a lawsuit, Gerald Reichnitzer alleges that Combs punched him, pushed his girlfriend, and tried to spit on another woman outside Teddy's nightclub at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. In a statement, Combs' attorney, Benjamin Brofman, says, it's just another example of an opportunist seeking to fabricate a lawsuit based on a flat-out lie to try to take advantage of Mr. Combs' celebrity status. The case is settled out of court in March 2008, and the terms are undisclosed. You know why the terms are likely undisclosed? Because I'm pretty sure that he paid them, okay? Just like he did everyone else who let the claims go. Now, May the 11th of 2007, in a complaint to the police, Combs, making the band co-star Lori Ann Gibson, alleges that he threatened her with a chair while New Edition's Michael Bivins held her in place. Now, I already reported on that too at length. In 2010, in the November 2023 lawsuit, Ventura claims all aspects of her life were controlled by either Mr. Combs or his management companies. She claims that he paid for her apartment and all living expenses and that he had access to her medical records. For instance, when Ms. Ventura began experiencing memory loss, potentially due to excessive drug use and or head injuries caused by Mr. Combs' beatings, her MRI results were provided directly to Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs also repeatedly arranged for his staff to drive Ms. Ventura to certain medical appointments. In this way, Combs exerted ownership over Ms. Ventura. February of 2012, in the November 2023 lawsuit, Ventura alleges that Combs said he was going to blow up the car of Kid Cudi. And then the car got blown up. Please pay attention. Now, September of 2018, after multiple attempts to sever ties with Combs, Ventura said she met with him to have dinner and believed it was to talk of concluding her Bad Boy contract and have a discussion about concluding their relationship for good. But after the dinner, Ventura alleged that he forced himself into her apartment and forcibly raped her. Now, I want you all to pay attention to all of these different lawsuits that Diddy has had over the years, not just the current ones, but over the years due to violence and in many cases against the women. Okay, Diddy doesn't like women, okay? I'm sorry, he doesn't like women. No, he doesn't. He may have relations with them, but does he really like women? I don't think so. Now, 2022 to 2023. In a February 2024 lawsuit, producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, a former producer of Combs who worked with him on his latest release, the Love album Off the Grid, alleges that the music mogul groped him repeatedly and during the duration of making the album. Now, November the 16th of 2023, Ventura accuses Diddy of years of sexual misconduct, harassment, trafficking, and rape. Ventura's allegations lasted for the entirety of her working and personal relationship. Now, Ventura filed the civil suit in New York Superior Court with New York Superior Court under the state's Adult Survivors Act. Now, November the 23rd of 2023. One day before the window for filing suits under the Adult Survivors Act is set to close, two separate lawsuits alleging misconduct in the early 1990s are filed against Combs in New York Superior Court, one by Joy Dickerson and the other by an unnamed plaintiff. The unnamed fourth person comes forward accusing Combs and others of gang rape in 2003. The unnamed, in response to the accusation, 18 brands severed ties with Combs, severs ties with Combs' black-owned e-commerce venture, Empower Global. UMG has a pattern and practice of employing convicted rapists and alleged sexual predators. Now, this is where Lucian and UMG come into play. And they were trying to get out of this, like they did with the woman with Rodney Jones, but to no avail, as I said. Now, upon information and belief, UMG has contracted with Luke S. Sebastian Gottwald, aka Dr. Luke. In October of 2014, Kesha sued Dr. Luke, accusing him of drugging and raping her. According to information and belief, in 2021, Gottwald launched Amigo Records as an imprint for Public Records, a subsidiary of UMG. Apparently, UMG saw no issue with employing Dr. Luke to produce music for their artist, Nicki Minaj. Upon information and belief, former UMG employee Russell Simmons brutally raped music producer Drew Dixon in 1995. Upon information and belief, UMG's former employee Antonio Marquise L.A. Reid, the former CEO of UMG's subsidiary, the Island Def Jam Music Group, brutally raped music producer Drew Dixon. So, Drew Dixon claims to have been raped by Russell Simmons and L.A. Reid. So this is showing a pattern. I just want you all to pay attention. Upon information and belief, former UMG employee Russell Simmons brutally raped writer Jenny Lumet. Now, upon information and belief, former UMG employee Russell Simmons brutally raped filmmaker Jennifer Jurasic. Upon information and belief, former UMG employee Russell Simmons brutally raped singer turned lawyer Tina Baker. Upon information and belief, former UMG employee Russell Simmons brutally raped musician Sherry Hines. Upon information and belief, UMG employee Russell Simmons brutally raped writer and activist Lay Abrams. Upon information and belief, former UMG employee Russell Simmons sexually harassed and assaulted model Carrie Clausen Kalihi. Upon information and belief, former UMG employee Russell Simmons sexually harassed or assaulted publicist and author Kelly Coutron. Upon information and belief, former UMG employee Russell Simmons sexually harassed and or assaulted reality television personality Luann D. Lesseps. Upon information and belief, former UMG employee Russell Simmons sexually harassed or assaulted actress Natasha Williams Block. Now, upon information and belief, UMG employee Russell Simmons sexually harassed or assaulted musical journalist Tony Sally. Russell had a lot of victims. I didn't realize he was accused by all of these people. Please pay attention. Now, in 2023, a judge ordered UMG to pay $500,000 to the child victims of UMG employer R. Kelly. Mr. Kelly was convicted of sex trafficking in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of New York. He is currently serving 30 years in prison. At his sentencing, U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly said UMG employee R. Kelly had an indifference to human suffering and had used sex as a weapon, forcing his victims to do unspeakable things while saddling some with sexually transmitted diseases. You taught them that love is enslavement and violence. Same thing that Diddy allegedly taught Cassie, as far as I'm concerned. So throughout the years, UMG has partnered with and employed Combs despite his many public run-ins with the law. In April of 1999, after a dispute over the use of footage in a music video, the record producer and UMG employee Stephen Stout claimed, okay, so we already know that. Skipping past. So, third cause of action, negligent infliction of emotional distress against defendants. Now, Liza Gardner repeats and realleges by reference all paragraphs above as though fully set herein. Defendant's conduct created an unreasonable risk of causing emotional distress to Ms. Gardner, and defendants knew or should have known that such conduct, intoxicating a child with alcohol and marijuana and then raping her, was likely to result in emotional distress that might and or likely would cause illness or bodily harm. Ms. Gardner's emotional distress was foreseeable to the defendants. As a direct and proximate result of said extreme and outrageous conduct by the defendants, Ms. Gardner suffered humiliation, mental anguish, disassociation, and emotional and physical distress, and has been hurt and injured in her health, both mentally and physically, strength, activity, and her ability to lead an everyday life without mental anguish. All of these have continue to cause, and will continue to cause plaintiff great mental and physical pain and suffering for the rest of her life. As a result of such severe emotional and mental distress, Ms. Gardner has been generally, especially and consequentially damaged in an amount to be established according to evidence. Now, the defendant's behavior toward Ms. Gardner was so outrageous as to exceed all reasonable bounds of decency. The defendants knew with substantial certainty, or should have known, that their behavior would cause Ms. Gardner to be a victim of intoxication, sexual assault, sexual abuse, and sexual contact. The defendants knew with substantial certainty, or should have known, that intoxicating, transporting plaintiff across state lines, drugging, and raping plaintiff would cause her to endure severe emotional distress. Now, when you go to transporting minors across state lines, you already know what that leads to. That's trafficking at its best. Okay, the defendants committed the infliction of emotional, physical, and mental distress willfully and intentionally, and through coercion, oppression, fraud, and malice, and consciously disregarded Ms. Gardner's rights. Therefore, Ms. Gardner is entitled to an award of exemplary or punitive damages in an amount to be established at trial to meaningfully punish defendants, thereby deterring similar conduct in the future. Fourth cause of action, negligence, premises liability for the sexual assault against Hall, UMG, UR, and MCA. Ms. Gardner's references and realleges all preceding paragraphs as if set forth fully herein. Premises liability is not a cause of action under New Jersey law, but a theory in which a plaintiff may bring negligence claims. To establish such a claim, plaintiff must plead for 4 elements. Now, the first element is duty of care. The second is a breach of that duty. The third is actual and proximate causation, and the fourth is damages. Okay, and they reference the case of Shelley v. Christopher, a civil action which obviously set precedent. Now, duty, as detailed above, Hall was the owner, the lessee or beneficiary of the property where the plaintiff was drugged and raped. UMG, UR, and or MCA were landlords, homeowners, or leasers of the property where the plaintiff was raped. Hall invited, and UMG, UR, and or MCA transported the plaintiff via a cab or private vehicle to the property where the plaintiff was raped. Hall invited. Okay, on the night of the rape, plaintiff was a child who was intoxicated because of the alcohol provided by UMG, UR, and MCA. Defendant Hall had a duty to not sleep with plaintiff or to provide her with additional alcohol and marijuana when she arrived at his property in New Jersey. Hall was 26 years old at the time, while plaintiff was a child. Hall also had a duty to prevent Combs from sleeping with plaintiff, who was a visibly intoxicated child. UMG, UR, and or MCA had a duty to ensure that plaintiff who was visibly intoxicated was safe when she arrived at their property. They had a duty to ensure that plaintiff was a child, or who was a child, was not subject to drug use and sexual contact from Combs and Hall. Breach of duty. Now, defendants did not protect plaintiff from sexual assault from Hall and Combs. Defendants breached their duty to prevent plaintiff from being raped by Hall and Combs, an actual and practical cause. Now, defendants were the actual and proximate cause of the harm that was visited upon plaintiff due to their decision to invite and transport plaintiff to the property where plaintiff was raped. Defendants were responsible for plaintiff's intoxication. Defendants were the cause of Hall and Combs sleeping with plaintiff, who was a visibly intoxicated child. Now, damages. As a direct result of the defendant's negligence, plaintiff suffers from PTSD, depression, severe anxiety, sleep deprivation, public humiliation, and shame. The conduct of defendants described above was willful, wanton, and malicious. At all relevant times, defendants UMG, UR, and or MCA knew or should have known that providing alcohol to a 16-year-old child and transporting that child across state lines was certain to cause injury to plaintiff. Hall knew or should have known that providing alcohol and marijuana to a child and then allowing Combs to rape her was certain to cause injury to plaintiff. Defendants UMG, UR, and or MCA knew or should have known that by sending an intoxicated child unsupervised to a home they either leased or owned to be with Hall and Combs, who were at least 10 years older than her, would or could result in plaintiff being raped. Defendant UMG, UR, and or MCA knew or should have known that Hall was or had the propensity to sleep with children, as evidenced by his own admissions. Okay? By his own admissions mentioned above. Collectively, the defendants acted with the knowledge of or with reckless disregard for the fact that their respective conduct was certain to cause injury and or humiliation to Ms. Gardner and intended to cause fear, physical injury, and or pain and suffering to Ms. Gardner. By virtue of the proceeding, Ms. Gardner is entitled to recover punitive damages. The plaintiff's claim for negligence is thus timely under the amendment to the CSAA. Okay, they list the statute, was explicitly made retroactive, applying to child and sexual abuse that occurred prior to, on, or after the effective date. Wherefore, plaintiff demands judgment in her favor and against defendants jointly and severally for general, compensatory, exemplary, and punitive damages, plus such interest fees and costs as are allowed by law. Now, the fifth cause of action says, Combs and Hall both sexually assaulted and inflicted extreme emotional distress on plaintiff. Defendants are vicariously liable for the actions of their agents, servants, licensees, and or employees, especially defendants Hall and Combs. Institutional defendants' vicarious liability is triggered in part by the overt acts they committed when they provided plaintiff, who was a child at the time, with unlimited amounts of alcohol. At 16 years old, plaintiff was statutorily prohibited from consuming alcohol, and the institutional defendants were statutorily prohibited from providing alcohol to plaintiff. Upon information and belief, in 1984, Congress passed the Minimum Drinking Age Act. All states gradually began to raise their legal drinking age to 21. By 1990, all states had enacted this law, including New York and New Jersey. In addition to intoxicating the minor plaintiff, the institutional defendants then transported the plaintiff across state lines from New York to New Jersey. Upon information and belief, the plaintiff, who had not drank alcohol prior to the institutional defendants providing it, was visibly intoxicated. Okay, she was unchaperoned and was sent to the house that the institutional defendants purportedly subsidized for their employee Hall. Now, I want you all to pay attention, because the main thing that they're doing in this lawsuit filing, that they moved from New York to New Jersey, what they're doing in this is, I want you to pay attention. They're not focusing their angst on Diddy and Aaron Hall. They're focusing their angst on UMG. And why are they doing that? Because UMG tried to wiggle their way out of this lawsuit, just like they were able to successfully do so with the one filed by Rodney Jones. Okay? They wanted to say that they had no culpability, they weren't responsible, it has nothing to do with them, there's no cause for them to be named, and all of that. But it is being shown in here that if these allegations are true, they absolutely are to be held liable. Okay? Because here's the thing. Because they own the property, not only did they employ Diddy and Aaron Hall, who supposedly, allegedly took the young women from New York to New Jersey, crossing state lines, right? Clearly a case for trafficking. But not only that, they own the property, or at least they were leasing or owners of the property where Aaron Hall took them to, where he was residing. So let's think about it like this. If you own a residence and someone comes to your home and something nefarious happens to them, they get hurt, injured, slip and fall, shot, beaten, or whatever, they can absolutely sue you and win. Okay? And if you have homeowners insurance, that's who's going to pay. So this happened on their property is what they're saying. And they keep reiterating the age, saying that these were children and these things that happened to them. And they also show a history, a pattern of UMG having artists that they employ who have been accused of sexual assault. So clearly in this new filing, unlike the first one that was filed in New York, they're focusing more so on UMG. Okay? Now, the institutional defendants knew or should have known that Hall and Combs had a propensity to sleep with children. Upon information and belief, the UMG defendant has a pattern and practice of covering up the sexual assaults of their artists by paying off victims. And this is looking all real sketchy. Pay attention. Said they pay off victims, okay, through unmarked international wire transfers. Now, this practice explains why the institutional defendants did not hesitate to provide 16-year-old plaintiff with alcohol and transport her across state lines to the home they subsidized for Hall. Like they had no worries because they felt like, oh, UMG is going to take care of it like they always do. They'll just pay off anyone who says anything to the contrary of what we say. The plaintiff has experienced pain and suffering as an adolescent and an adult, physical injury and pain, bodily injury, including sickness, disease, mental anguish, or injury, shock, fear, and fright. Social isolation, educational adjustment problems, mood swings, low self-esteem, relationship and intimacy problems, lack of trust in people, feelings of insecurity, discomfort from letting his children be in the presence of others, okay, family discord, medical expenses. And I think that should have been letting her children. I think that's a typo. But goes on to say diminished enjoyment of life, cost of counseling, lost wages, severe emotional distress, diminished enjoyment of life, diminished enjoyment of childhood, difficulty and an inability to focus, difficulty and an inability to perform educational tasks, anxiety, depression, humiliation, pain in mind and body, and severe embarrassment. That's a whole lot, honey. Please pay attention. That is a whole lot. Now, additionally, plaintiff is having and has had difficulty living a normal life and has not engaged in normal development and activities, suffers from behavior patterns, and will continue to do so in the future. Will in the future be caused to endure severe pain in mind and body, has endured interference with, and will continue to endure interference with engaging in his full normal daily activities. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out why they keep saying his activities when they're talking about Liza Gardner. Okay, this has to be typos, but let me continue. The plaintiff's claim for vicarious liability is thus timely under the amendment to the CSAA. They list the rest of the statutes, or not statutes, but policies was explicitly made retroactive, applying to child sexual abuse that occurred to, on, or after the effective date. Okay, so they're basically listing the laws, not policies. Okay, now wherefore plaintiff demands judgment in her favor and against defendants jointly and severally for general compensatory, exemplary, and punitive damages plus such interest fees and costs are all allowed by law. Now here's the thing. I believe that he's mistakenly put his in here because maybe he was thinking about Rodney Jones's case. I don't know. But there's two typos. Okay, so plaintiff repeats, reiterates, and realleges all of the above paragraphs as if set forth fully herein. Institutional defendants as social hosts, employers, organizers, supervisors, and sanctioning body for Hall and Combs owed a duty to invitees and guests such as plaintiff. Institutional defendants had a duty to make reasonable steps to take reasonable steps to protect plaintiff, a minor child, from foreseeable harm when she was invited to their event. And upon her arrival at that event, the institutional defendants assumed a duty of care, custody, and control over the plaintiff. So basically saying that she was in their care because they were grown people, they were adults, and she was a child. So they were supposed to be protecting her and watching over her and making sure that no harm came her way, which they absolutely did not, and in fact are accused of inflicting the harm, including when they placed the intoxicated minor in a car and trafficked her across state lines to a property they subsidized by Hall or for Hall. Okay, so I'm not going to read all of this, but as you can see, they are clearly, in this case, focusing on UMG, which, as we know, the CEO is Lucian Grainge. So he thought he was going to get out of it, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. Okay, and that was a whole lot. I just want you all to pay attention. So with that all being said, and then here's what really makes them look bad, where they talk about how these young ladies were minors, Joy Dickerson-Neal, and specifically Liza Gardner, and then how they were taken from one place to another, how they were given marijuana as well as alcohol, and they were clearly intoxicated. And then, of course, the brutalization that they allege, that Liza alleges occurred. Okay? Not to mention, Jodeci better be glad that they weren't brought up in this lawsuit, to be sued. They were mentioned in it, but they better be so glad that they were not brought up on charges or filed in the lawsuit, had a lawsuit filed against them themselves, because they knew that Liza Gardner was a teenager. They knew that they should not have been taking them to meet Aaron Hall and Diddy, because they absolutely knew how Aaron Hall and Diddy are by their own admissions. Okay, they both have admitted to the partying and all that stuff, and Aaron Hall really told on himself at great length, gave specific details and accounts of things that he has engaged in with the whole minor, Gloria Velez. So I just find it all interesting. And like I told you all before, I said in a video that I did months ago, I told you all, Jodeci may be subpoenaed to come and testify about this particular situation. Okay, they may have to come and be to testify against Diddy and Aaron Hall. Okay, this is all crazy. So Reggie says, from the rabbit ears to the red suit, I'm past it all. Okay. Now, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Everyone, please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right. Terry said, ruin this woman's life. Daggone shame. Yeah, it really is. I mean, because things that happen to people when they're children, and those of you who follow the spiritual channel know, because I talked to you about this at length, that people who experience traumatizing events as children become adults who are still traumatized. And they often base their decisions as adults off of their trauma. Okay, so I absolutely believe that she is traumatized. Absolutely. And she should get every penny that she deserves. Thank you, Reggie, beloved. All right, so you're welcome, Claudette. Okay, so with that all being said, I love you all to life. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Enjoy your strong end, not your weekend, leaving you in a weakened state of mind. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Yo, Nick, hit him with that flavor.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got